All right, here we go. It is Move Monday. I'm Pastor Bobby D. Hamilton. You know when you see my face, you know what day it is. You know what I've already done. I've already began to move. And you see others out here moving too. It's a little windy out here, a little chilly out here to be exact. But we're moving anyway. Good morning, my son. Good morning. We're getting it in. We're getting it in. It's Move Monday. And that is what we're doing. Good morning, my brother. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're just trying to get it done here. I've been able to get my sunrise 6 in. Thank God for that. Opportunity to run. And I want to just start this morning by just saying, listen, I've talked to you so much about doing a myriad of things as relates to Move Monday, and you've done so many things. One thing we haven't talked a whole lot about that I want to kind of bring to your attention, I want to bring the issue of just simply stretching. As I say, some of you can't run, you can't cycle, you don't swim whatsoever. Many of you don't do kickball, you don't do Tai Bo, you don't do yoga, you don't do kickboxing, you don't do any of that. But I want to talk just for a minute about stretching. Something as basic as stretching, because it gives so much flexibility to our muscles. Some of you haven't stretched since you were 14 years old in PE class. And I just want to encourage your heart today to begin to just stretch today, to be able to get yourself together and to be ready to be prepared. Good morning, good morning. To be ready to be prepared to do some cat cows, to do some down dogs, to be able to do some hip flexors, to do some shoulder rolls, or do some calf raises, or to do some quad stretches. You may have never considered that, but that could give so much flexibility to you. There's a lot of things that you have limitations, and this Move Monday is not about those who are elite athletes. It's those who are not athletes at all. But yet you've made up your mind that you're going to move in some way or some fashion. I saw a man this morning, and guess what his move is? His move every Monday is working in his yard. He's out there pulling and he's planting and he's shrubbing, and that counts as a move. But even in doing all the clipping and cutting that he's doing, he's got to have the flexibility of his joints. So I want to encourage you today just to get the flexibility in. Just if you can go by a book, by a video, do some calf raise, do a jump rope, whatever you may be able to do. Maybe some of you right now, you're not having the proper activity in your limbs. Maybe your blood flow is not what it should be in your lower extremities. And yet I'm trying to say that if you allow yourself to begin to move your upper torso, to begin to move your body, that constitutes a move too. Whatever you want to do, just move. And I want to encourage you just to be flexible, just to stretch. Can you say it with me? Today I'm going to make up my mind to just stretch. We've done so many other things. And so I'm going to encourage you just to do it. And now, so let me ask the question. What stretches are you going to do today? Someone online is watching right now. They want to be encouraged by your words, by your comment. What stretches are you going to do today? Because they need to know how you're going to do it. Because they're wondering, I don't run, I don't cycle, I don't do that crazy stuff what you guys do. I'm too old for that, Pastor Hamilton, but what can I do? I mean, what you can do is stretch. There's great benefits to just simply stretching your body, maintaining your body. We're gonna be a community of helping one another to get better. We're just trying to get better. In the midst of when it's cold, when it's hot, when it's raining, when it's sunshine, when it's humid, when it's snowing in some parts of the country, because you from all over the country are watching this, we're gonna just make up our mind to just move. You see people out here on this track this morning of all ages, all backgrounds, all different body compositions. And yet they made one commonality, and that is we're just going to move. You're not too old to move. It's not too late to move. No, I know some of you are recovering from injuries. Take your time recovering from an injury, but as you recover, make up your mind to continue just to move. The treadmill you have in your house that now has become a coat hanger. You got to get that treadmill, move your clothes off the treadmill, and begin to use the stair stepper that you have, the Peloton bike that you have. You pay a lot of money for that Peloton bike. Use that Peloton bicycle. There's so many things that you're able to do. Last Christmas and the Christmas before the last Christmas, you bought all kind of things that you said were going to help you. You bought the nice outfits. You bought the shoes. You got a matching workout set. And yet you've never gotten into the workout set to work out. I want to encourage you today to get into the workout set to work out. You set your own goal. You want to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 2 pounds. You want to get tight, right? Get it tight, right? But just move. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just today, but we're going to start by just stretching. I want you to stretch. Now, as you're stretching, stretch your way back over to YouTube. And then on yesterday at the Friendship Church, I didn't preach yesterday. I didn't preach yesterday because it's my 21st year anniversary. My wife and I at the Friendship Church. 21 years, over 2 decades. Can you imagine that? Pastoring a church for 21 years. Let me be the first to say, let me just take my soapbox and say, I never dreamt that I'd be pastor of a church. That was nowhere on my radar, nowhere on my screen, nowhere on my agenda. Was not my prayer request, was not my heart's desire or anything. Let me tell you what, when I was coming up, I thought I was going to be a professional basketball player. I thought I was going to be a banker for all my life. I thought I was going to be a millionaire insurance man. I was on my way. And then God called me. And when God called me, it intercepted everything. And now here I am 21 years later being a pastor of a church. God has a great sense of humor. Let me tell you why. Being as selfish and self-centered as I can be, God made me an under shepherd, where you have to serve people and care for people and labor with people and forgive people and love people and lead people and be there with people. It can't be about yourself. When you're shepherding God's people, it can't be about yourself. It's about God and those people, about encouraging them and helping them to grow, that they may be able to look like Christ and live like Christ and fully follow Christ, to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. It is not about the trinkets, the toys, the gifts, the cars, the clothes. It's not about any of that. It's all about good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see y'all. Y'all getting it in, get it in, get it in. I see you. That's what we do on Mondays. Thank God. Tell them to come down. I'm going to tell them what you said. You said to come down. But it's amazing. 21 years later, and I'm pastor of the church. I thank God for the Friendship Church and the people of Friendship Church. But it's about a calling. In Galatians 1:15, the Apostle Paul says that the Lord set him apart from his mother's womb and by grace called him. That's what God did to me. Set me apart. I never dreamt that God had a plan for my life that would, with me being a preacher, being a pastor, shepherding a church over here in Houston, Texas, and Sugar Land, Texas to be exact. I never dreamt that. I had other plans, other agendas. I was going to be large and in charge. I was going to do big things. And whoever thought that God would just call me to do this? And guess what? It's the greatest thing in my life. He's called me, he's equipped me, he's gifted me for this. And of all things I've done, this is the hardest job I ever had in my life. But it's the best job I ever had in my life because it involves people. It's about people. The ministry is about people. It's not about perks. It's about the people. And God, thank God for the people and what God has done with me. But he called me. And so let me ask you, because you may not be a pastor, and yet God's called you too. If you're a born again believer, the calling on your life, have you connected with the calling in your life? Paul said that God set me apart from my mother's womb, and by grace he called me. God set you apart too. Have you connected with the reason why God set you apart? Are you walking in your calling? It always concerns me that people die without ever living. Because if you don't understand your calling, and you don't connect with your calling, you don't know what it is, you don't know how God wants you to bring him glory through the context of your calling, then you're just existing, and you're riding on the coattails of somebody else's calling. But what is your calling? What has God set you apart for? God has left you here in this place, in this time. God has left you here to bring him glory, to bring him honor. So walking in your calling, what is your calling? My calling is to be a shepherd. My calling to be a preacher, teacher. My calling is to equip men, women, boys and girls how to fully follow Jesus Christ. My calling is to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. My calling is to be a godly man in my house and a godly man on the streets. My calling is to lift up the Savior, not to be perfect. He's the perfect one. I point him to the perfect one, and then I walk off stage. It's not about me. It's not about you. As I was saying before I got interrupted, God has a calling. Go look at it. I got cut off. I don't know how I got cut off, but when I was talking about the calling and the glory of God, got cut off. That's all right. That's all right. I'm back anyway. That's the way it works sometimes. When you get cut off, come back. I've come back. We thank God today. Go to YouTube and look at it. I thank God for you, and I'll see you at the Friendship Church, a place to begin again. What a mighty God we serve. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.